All right, one of the reasons I'm so excited about Ohio State going to Oregon this week is not just Ohio State playing against the best competition we've seen them play against all season. Seeing Jeremiah Smith against elite competition finally, because we've had these discussions that, I mean, it sounds like hyperbole, but then you talk to people in the sport and they say, no, it's not hyperbole. Jeremiah Smith is really this good. Well, now we get a chance to see it against a team that we think can compete for the Big Ten and national title.
Yeah, I mean, the problem about me talking about Jeremiah Smith is that I'm already hyperbolic more than I should be. So when I'm actually trying to be serious and saying things that sound like hyperbole, people can't make the distinction. But I legitimately meant that I thought that he was already the best receiver in college football. And it's a crazy thing to say when you have Ryan Williams over there as a 17-year-old at Alabama, just making play after play after play in big-time environments. He's played against elite competition and showed up against elite competition. For Ohio State, this is a monumental game, just in the sense that they need to prove that they can win under Ryan Day, these types of must-win games. But at the same time, too, it's like if this guy is the weapon that we've all said that he is, this is where he shows up and scores.
Well, and if he is that much better than everybody else, this is where he shines because he can do things that other people can't against better competition. And that's where it gets interesting. So let's look at his Prize Picks numbers for this week. And if you don't play Prize Picks already, download the app, use the code Staples when you sign up, play $5, get $50 instantly. The way it works is daily fantasy. You're picking a player. That player has statistical category attached. With Jeremiah Smith, let's say receiving yards. You would say, I think he will catch more than or less than 68.5 receiving yards. And that's one square. You pick at least two squares. The more squares you pick, the higher the potential payout. Now, Jeremiah Smith's number for the Oregon game is 68.5 yards. Jeremiah Smith's lowest receiving total this year is 70 against Marshall. So that one's intriguing. More intriguing, there are alternate numbers for Jeremiah Smith. So there's a goblin and a demon number. Goblin number is easier to hit, 49.5, lowers the potential payout. Demon number, harder to hit, raises the potential payout. It's 99.5 receiving yards. Now, he's only gone over 100 receiving yards in one game, and that was against Western Michigan. But here's my thing about this, Ari, and this is where I find this intriguing. If he's as good as we say he is, and it's harder for Ohio State to score than it has been on the previous opponents, this is the guy you have to throw to.
Exactly. And the whole point of Jeremiah Smith's existence is that there's no such thing as a 50-50 ball anymore. You know, he's supposed to be the person that makes it a 70-30 ball or an 80-20 ball. When you throw it in his direction, if he's in single coverage, he's going to come down with it. And the thing that I want to make a point about with Jeremiah, Andy, is that every single week he has a circus one-handed catch. And I think that people view that as like, wow, that's super cool and awesome for YouTube and whatever, but there's not much application for it in terms of like, other than it being a highlight reel play. But I think that that you have to understand that these one-handed catches and that these circus catches that he's making are like second nature to him, which is what makes making hard catches or semi-routine catches and coverage a lot easier for him. So in this game, I don't know if his presence is going to be felt in terms of like a total yardage output. Like, I don't know that I love the 99.5. Where you're going to find that is on a 4th and 7 when they have to go for it in the second half in a close game and they throw it into coverage and he comes down with it to move the sticks 8 yards. So, you know, he has only gone over 100 yards. And you also have to take into account too that like Ohio State also has a Emeka Egbuka on the team. Like, it's not like he's the only option. So that's when it gets a little bit hairy. But if there is a touchdown or a longest reception square or a long reception square, which they typically do, that's where my attention would probably go. Because if you go and look at his long receptions in the 5 games that Ohio State's played, he only hasn't gone over 40 once. He's had at least a 40-yard reception in 4 out of the 5 games they've played. Like, he is good for at least one explosive play. And I think he's going to score a touchdown because that's who you're going to look to in the red zone, Andy.
Your longest reception square for Jeremiah Smith on Prize Picks this week, 28.5 yards. So Ari with the tip of the week there. But yeah, I'm excited to see, is this guy as good as we think? Because if he is, this is the week he's going to show out.